The Ministry of Communications and Works began a two-day retreat on Thursday, January 24th at the Treasure Isle Hotel Conference Room to facilitate discussions by ministry officials and set out a strategic plan of action for that ministry over the next 10 years. Sean Rose has the details.
Government's 2013 budget, presented by Dr. Orlando Smith in November 2012, projected operating expenditure in the region of $298 million and a net operating expenditure of $252 million. Of that $252 million, the Ministry of Communications and Works received $32.9 million, or 11.02% of the overall budget, that will go towards developing the territory's infrastructure throughout this financial year. As part of efforts to effectively meet its obligations, officials from the ministry participated in a two-day retreat exercise at the Treasure Isle Hotel to design a 10-year strategic plan 2013-2023. Speaking during the opening session of the two-day event, Financial Secretary Neil Smith underscored the need for efficient, effective, and transparent allocation of the territory's resources.
It is expected that with the $32 million in new funds that you've been allocated in the 2013 budget, and with the additional $16 million that you're expected to access in this same year, that you'll be able to fulfill this mandate of effective, efficient, and transparent allocation of resources. That is the context in which we operate. Efficient in that we should be able to do more with the resources that we have. Effective in that the innovations and programs will be more useful to the citizens of the territory. And transparent in that the decisions that are made will be clear and the rationale behind them articulated truthfully.
Communications and Works Minister Honorable Mark Vanterpool styled 2013 as the year for his ministry.
This is the year when we will deliver the most projects, the year when we will set the most policies, the year when we will reorganize and restructure departments and statutory bodies where necessary.
Among the various initiatives, the 4th District Representative said there are opportunities to create safer road networks.
We must begin to plan roadways that are wide enough for the vehicles we now drive, safer turns and pull-offs, roads with proper drainage systems, and roads that are built to modern standards which can last us for the next 25 years.
Renewable energy and reduced energy consumption were also listed among the key areas that the strategic plan will address for the next 10 years.
So ladies and gentlemen, over the next 3 years, in conjunction with the BVI Electricity Corporation, we will modernize our legislation governing energy development, reduce consumption of electricity by some 30% by implementing various conservation methods, and implement renewable energy systems which will diversify the way we will produce our energy here in the Virgin Islands.
Honorable Vanterpool also spoke of plans to improve the territory's ports from Just Van Dyke to Anegada.
Everywhere on Anegada, Virgin Gorda, even South Island, Just Van Dyke, and especially here in Tortola, and others play a key role in the existence of the life of a resident and gives the first and last impression to visitors who come to our shores. 10 years from now, what we will achieve, perhaps with us becoming one of the major transportation points in the Caribbean, won't be by accident.
The Communications and Works Minister suggested that work will begin on a new cruise ship port in town before summer.
There will be a new cruise ship port,
but later advised that an upgrade to the facility would be a more appropriate adjective.
An expansion of the present pier, as was planned before. It's the same plan that we have, extending the pier out, I think, some 400 feet, and widening it from 40 to 60 feet, 65 feet. We hope we can make an announcement by the end of February, is our expectation, based on the negotiations that have been happening.
I asked the minister whether or not he was being realistic with his plans in light of statements made by the financial secretary to manage the scarce resources and the belt tightening that is required by most governments given the slow recovery process since the global economic meltdown in 2008.
We don't have a choice in terms of fixing our sewage system. So the Minister of Finance and ourselves have been working and ensuring that we have the funding to make that happen. Yes, we're having difficulties, but we are putting in place these developments that will help us to grow and build our economy and provide revenue to do those types of things.
BVI residents and visitors can also look forward to seeing the creation of a city management board to assist in running Capital Road Town. Efforts to turn historic Main Street into a commerce-oriented space, a boardwalk to create more opportunities for commerce and increase options for tourists, and additional designated areas for food and other vendors around town as part of plans to create increased commercial activity in Road Town. Sean Rose, JTV News.